A lot of people say renting is just throw money away. But what if that's not true? What if for most people, renting is actually the better option over buying? Me and my brother are both qualified accountants with over a decade's worth of experience in the finance industry. So in today's video, I'm going to break down why renting isn't failing and why rushing into a mortgage in your 20s or early 30s could actually be setting you back. The first problem with buying a house is you lose flexibility. New job in a new city? Want to travel for a year? Or just want to move area? You can't do that with a mortgage because you'll be taking a massive financial hit. Most of the time with a mortgage, you won't actually break even unless you've lived in the property for over 5 years.
But wait, why 5 years?
Because of all the upfront cost, stamp duty, solicitors and estate agents, they all add up. For example, imagine you buy a property at 25 and 2 years later you get offered your dream job in another city. So you either turn the job down or lose thousands in fees when selling. Renters don't have that problem, they can just move.
Just before we continue, we release videos every week on personal finance and how to better manage your money. If you find this content helpful, then hit like and subscribe so you don't miss out on any future tips or advice.
Here's another thing many people don't talk about, and that's maintenance. Imagine you buy your first property, everything's going fine, and then a couple of years later, the boiler breaks down. Replacing it can easily cost 4K, and if you don't have that saved, you might have to borrow to cover the costs. Now, that's an extreme example, but it does happen. And the big difference is if you're renting, that cost doesn't fall on you, it falls on the landlord. Your only responsibility is to make sure your rent and bills are covered. Renting gives you peace of mind that if any major problems were to come up, it's not suddenly your problem. Now, don't get us wrong, mortgages aren't all that bad. If you're planning to start a family and living in a property for over 10 years, buying can actually make a lot of sense. Over the long term, you usually build equity, and the biggest benefit is stability. As long as you pay your mortgage, no one can ask you to leave. With renting, when your contract ends, the landlord can decide not to renew. That is one of the biggest trade-offs renters face. So if you're still with us, this is the point we're really trying to make. If you're in your 20s or early 30s and still renting, you're not failing. There are both pros and cons to renting and buying. And depending on your goals currently, it might actually be smarter to rent.